Hare. Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, shloka number 14. Matra sparsastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agamapaino nitya namtitisvasva bharataha. Translation purport given by Divine Geshe from Srila Prabhupada. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, or ISKCON or Bharata. You must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magha, which is January and February. It is very cold at the time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is a religious principle of a Kshatriya. Although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge. Because by knowledge and devotion only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya, illusion. The two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relations from his mother's side. And to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. Great heritage brings responsibility. The matter of proper discharge of duties, therefore, cannot avoid fighting. Excellent. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmanitanmena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadhammayam Yadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarobhisha Kripa Sindhu Jayalacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim kripatamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Matra sparsastu kaunteya sita usma sukha dukkada agama paino nitya tam kritisva subharata. Tolerate, tolerate. It's easy to tell to tolerate. It's difficult to actually do it. Tolerate is very, actually in every school of spirituality, they have this tolerate. Why? Because it's one of the very important quality to develop. Why it is? I'll tell an example. The tolerate comes from patience. And patience is not easy. I'll tell an example. Many years back, A set of researchers have done some research. Research on what? They went to school. I think they went to like 20, 30 schools. They met students there, third graders, fourth graders. And then to each and everyone, they gave a cupcake. And then they said, you can eat them, one condition. What is that condition? You have to wait until your next bell rings. Right? Students were given cupcakes. US is famous for cupcakes. So they said, you can eat this cupcake, but you have to wait. If you eat now, you'll get only one cupcake because it's been already given to you. But if you wait until next bell which rings, then you'll get another extra cake if you still have that cake. So 80% of children they ate. Nobody cared actually, nobody heard also. Half of them didn't even heard. But whoever heard, whoever actually followed that, they received second cupcake. Not just this, the story doesn't end here. The children who waited for the next period, those children's biodata was being taken. Those children were checked again after 15 years or 20 years. I think 20 years. All those children who did not eat, they became like big engineers. They became like big doctors. They were actually well settled in their life. Now, why am I telling this is patience and tolerance is something required. If you have that, actually, these are all been gifted. Please understand. If you see it, dear devotees, these things, you don't cultivate them. You have them actually. I remember my spiritual master, he has a very beautiful quality which I want to tell. Before he came to Krishna conscious, he was working on a selfless plan. He was doing selfless services. That means the quality is there. He was taking care of the villagers, giving them some water, adding them water connection. He's an engineer. He has those things to be done under his jurisdiction. But even though he was doing it for 4 or 5 years, so his heart was not satisfied. He actually told us openly in the class. He was telling that his heart was not satisfied. Because people were trying to put them down. He was trying to do a selfless service. They're trying to put them down. Then later on, the moment he started hearing, received the books of Srila Prabhupada, things got changed. Selflessness, the quality was there. But the way that selflessness is presented, that's what's matter. I'll tell an example. There's a raindrop. Prabhupada gives a beautiful example. A raindrop which falls from the sky. A raindrop can fall at any place. If it falls at a filthy place, do we drink that raindrop? We don't drink. But if the same raindrop it falls on the mountain, does it have a value? No. So the same raindrop it falls on a barren land, no value. Tilted land, yes, definitely. It has more value. That means the water is consumed. So it's a tilted land. Just imagine same raindrop falling on a pearl in a shower where it forms a pearl. Drop only. One drop is kept at different situations and circumstances. Through the drops association, it has a value. The drops association has been kept on a barren land, doesn't have any value. On a tilted land, it is definitely has a value. In a shell of a pearl, it has the greatest value because it transforms into a pearl. So devotee association, Acharya's association is like that. It makes the pearl because it brings the best consciousness from within. Because that is what is matters, right? Just like the children who have those qualities, they become engineers. Just imagine the same children, if they're connected to a Vaishnav, it's a different ballgame. They'll be engineers, but their engineering strategy is totally different. That means they work like an engineer, but their heart is very pure. See, this is a whole point why Sita Ushna Sukha Dukkada is very prominent. Now a question will come why one should tolerate. Oh, no doubt the children were tolerant. They were showing patience. But a question will come to us since we are practicing, trying to practice Krishna consciousness. The question will come to us why I should tolerate. Now, if I say you'll go back home back to tolerate, that means for some result I should tolerate. Going home back to guarded means you will ask, oh, why I should go. Then you will tell, oh, there is no electric bill, there is no phone bill, there is no this, that, so many other things. There is no home insurance, health insurance, there's so many other things. You don't have to go through any of those things. That's why there's no family problem, relation problem, health problem, none of those things. That's why you go there. But means why am I doing it? If you really have a clarity, why am I doing it? Then you'll do great actually. Then you can actually tolerate. Please understand. That means to tolerate something, you need some details behind it. It just doesn't come like that. And I'll tell you another interesting aspect. Even if you do just like that, for example, you don't know any of those details, but you're doing it, you're tolerating it. At that moment, you don't have specific reasons. If you don't have any specific reasons, that is also a problem. Why? Because that tolerance which we cultivate, we can tolerate, but we have a limit for that. Please understand this. The material nature is very tricky. It will keep us so many limits. Let's say you're going to office. And your manager already told that this year you'll not get more than 3%. Last year also same thing. He's giving an indication that next year also it will be like that. That means what is he trying to do? He's trying to set a limit. And not only is trying to set a limit, but he's also trying to retain you. That means he has to give something so that you stay. Because there's a limit. The material world is a limit. One cannot stay a particular place unless and until it's given something. Please understand. Now the same manager, if he says, if I give you next year 5%, do we leave? We will not leave the company because he's ready to give 5%. That means what is he doing? To retain you, he has to increase the limit. That means to tolerate something, you should get something else. Please understand. That is when you will tolerate. Otherwise, you cannot tolerate. Just like the employer is been given 5%, he will stay. And a matter of fact, he will even work 5 hours more. I'm giving an example. If there is a requirement, at times, a person will actually work 5 hours more because he's been given 5%. That means not only is retaining, but is retaining with conviction. Right? Is this not working? Is this how it is working in the material world? Material world, this is how it works. Exactly, right? If things are working like this in this material world, then tolerating something on a spiritual plane, do you think it will happen just like that? No. You have to receive something. Please understand. I'm telling again. आपको चाहिए. You have to receive. What do we receive? We have to receive that grace. If I do not have that grace, if I cannot avail that grace, I cannot tolerate. Period. As simple as that. Krishna consciousness is not a process which will show you something like, oh, this is how it is. Can you see that? It's very beautiful. Neither the person who is telling is very beautiful there, neither the person who is saying is very beautiful there. They're just telling it's beautiful. The person who is telling, he also knows there's no beauty there. But somehow he's telling. Now that kind of telling will also not work, especially in Krishna consciousness. For example, let's say you're trying to purchase a book. The person who is selling the book, he knows that the book is not great, but he's a salesman. He wants to sell the books which he has at his store. Now, what does he say? Wow, this is beautiful. This is great. This is a book of the millennium. Then you bought. Okay. You read that. You understood that is a blunder. Or whatever he said, it's all fake. No, at the moment you realize that, do you ever go to that person again? I'll not go. Nobody will go. Whoever has some intelligence, he will not go. Why he will not go is because he is not looking for that book. He's not looking for that money. He lost that money. No. He's actually seeing the person's consciousness behind it. He's seeing the person's behavior behind it. The person is not trying to establish a relationship. He's simply trying to sell off his book. But rather, if he's working on a relationship, it would have, even though the book was not good, if I would have told him the book is not good, but you can try. Then what is happening? No doubt he's developing a relationship with that person. The book is also sold. And what is that happening? Next time the person will come to his shop only. Why? Because he has established that relation. But if a person did not establish that relation, what is happening in that state? Will the person will ever go? He will not go. Please understand this dear about this. Tolerance can only be done in this way. One can only tolerate in this way. That means he should have higher perspective of why this thing has to be done. We hear so many times we should tolerate. Titiksava karunika surada ajata shatru ashanta sadhava sadhu bhushan. Titiksava karunika, tolerate. Nobody is your enemy. Your consciousness is your enemy. The problem is in your consciousness, not with anyone else. Everyone is like a beautiful flower. With our perception, we see that beautiful red flower as a black flower. It is our drishti, our eyesight, our vision is imperfect. That's why through our imperfect vision, we see the other person in a different way. It is not that the other person is at fault, we are at fault. But to realize this is not easy because the falsehood is always covering us. Due to this reason, we cannot tolerate dear devotees. The urge to see, the urge to pull is actually pulling us. The urge to lead is actually pulling us. Please understand. The more we know this, the more we will be aloof from this. Because tolerating situations do come into our. I'll give an example. The wife goes to the home after working at office. The husband is doing remote work. Wife came from, she's a software engineer. Husband is also a software engineer. He's a software manager, she's an engineer. The wife, after a lot of stress, anxiety, tension, she comes home. Her husband, he is also in tension. He is also unable to fulfill his projects. His teammates are not working because load is coming on him. And from the director is pushing him, kya ho raha hai, kya ho raha hai? From the employees are not working. The manager has to deal. He has to drink the Kool-Aid. Means he has to drinking the Kool-Aid means what? This is an American wording. What is drinking Kool-Aid means? You should tolerate everything. Now, why that person is tolerating? Cash, money. If the person is not satisfied with money, will he tolerate? That means there is a limitation here. Please understand what is happening? Limitation. Now, let's say the Mataji came home. Our husband is using left and right. Left and right. There's no reason actually. He's doing left and right. Now, wife is actually, she is in a difficult situation also. She will hear for like 10, 15 seconds. After that, she will also begin the show. So what is happening? Why the tolerant limits are very less here in this case? Because due to perplexity, due to situations, circumstances, due to association, tensed. Because he's trying to think whether his job will be there or not. Now, these kind of things we need to understand. For example, if you're not tolerating certain things, we need to see why am I not tolerating it? So nobody will think like that. But we should think. But we want to practice Krishna consciousness very sincerely, pure, core to the heart. We should think, Are, yesterday I was able to tolerate. Why? No, this is not through false ego toleration. It is not puffed up, with a puffed up state. I'm telling, oh, I am tolerating. No, no, no. Genuinely, I'm telling you. Okay. Yesterday I was able to tolerate the situation, but today I was unable to tolerate. What could be the reason of this? Why I was unable to tolerate? Why yesterday I could tolerate? Then we assess the situation. Are, yesterday I was in that state. Because yesterday I was hearing, yesterday I was also reading. I chanted also. And yesterday I was not in a state of anxiety. My work was also free, relaxed. That's why I was able to tolerate. But today it's a lot of anxiety at office, this, that, so many other things are happening. Everything all came at the same time. Then it's difficult to tolerate. That means what are we trying to do here? We are accepting that state. See, dear devotees, when you accept something in front of the Lord, in front of the acharyas, what is happening is not just we are accepting, we are actually sharing our heart. Now, through that, what is happening is next time when you are kept in that state, without your knowing, the tolerance limits will be increased. Why? Because you requested. You requested for that mercy. Please understand. When you do that in that fashion, in that way, what is happening is slowly and steadily, you are actually coming out of state and then you are kept in a state of tolerance. Titiksava, patience. Because that is very important. Nowadays this tolerance is very difficult. One one person is telling something to the other person is telling, Are, how come you can tell that to me? That means the person has to take it back. Generally, this will also happen. If you're trying to tell somebody, they will shout. If you have a relationship with them, they will shout. You should understand. They want this to be done. If one person is shouting, other person should be quiet. Please understand. Both should not shout. If one person is shouting, other person should actually change the topic or should actually move from that place. But he shouldn't dwell in that. Because what is happening is, when you are also shouting, when we are also shouting, what is happening? You are increasing the agitation. The other person will not keep quiet. He will go forward. That's why we should be quiet. Because Krishna told us to be quiet. Matras, no, we should think another aspect here. Period over this. When we discuss these things, it becomes, "Hey, this is good. The tolerance can be done nicely. But after leaving the association, why it is not possible? This is a question which we need to answer. After leaving the association, why am I unable to tolerate this state? Tell an example. Prahlad Maharaj has been kept in different states. क्या कर रहा है? Is he doing anything? Is he doing anything different? For example, I'll tell. We'll try to assess this. Please understand. Please stay with me. Prahlad Maharaj was being sent under the elephants. Prahlad Maharaj was being thrown from the cliff. Prahlad Maharaj was being sent under the fire. Prahlad Maharaj was being thrown under the snake pit. Bhagavatam says 500 or even more varieties of processes to kill was being used for Prahlad Maharaj. Now that means his strategy for 500 situations is different. That means is he thinking, or tomorrow my father will send me to the snakes, what should I prepare today? Or what should I tell to the snakes in such a way that snakes do not kill me? Prahlad Maharaj is not thinking like that because Prahlad Maharaj is utterly dependent. Person is utterly dependent, he will not think much. Please understand. सोचना है बाबू, फिर devotees, ये सोचना है इसके बारे में. Person is utterly dependent. He'll think whatever is required. He'll not think too much. क्या हो रहा है, ये पेपर कैसे है, वो पेपर कैसे है, ऐसा करना है, ऐसा करना है. अरे यार, भक्ति करो ना. Please do bhakti. If things are going, that's okay. It will go. Dear devotees, I'll tell you something. When you are really surrendered, Krishna will take care of it. I'll write it down. When you sincerely surrender the lotus feet of pure devotee, Acharya, if you follow the words of Acharya, Krishna will personally come and take care of it. I will write it down. He will come personally. I am so many times in my life. I've been kept in difficult situation. अरे वो हो जाएगा, वो काम हो जाएगा. कैसा होता मालूम ही नहीं. I don't know how that work will happen, but it will happen. I've seen multiple times in my spiritual master's life. 1,000 examples. Yes, 1,000 examples to share. Now, how is that happening? You're not doing anything. You're utterly depending. Exactly what Parikshit Maharaj is. Exactly what Prahlad Maharaj is doing. Now, Parikshit Maharaj is also depending. That is another state. Another dependence. That is dependence in maturity. Now, that means Prahlad Maharaj is not mature. No, he is also mature. But his dependence is different to Parikshit Maharaj's dependence. Because Parikshit Maharaj is a king. Prahlad Maharaj is a son. It's different. Different situations, circumstances. Please understand. I'll tell this again. Because if you surrender Prabhu, actually this is where the problem comes. वो surrender होने में ही problem है. No, once you surrender, the Krishna consciousness will open up. That means problems will come. But you're okay, you're relaxed. I'm telling you. Will be chill. Because what is happening? Sita Ushna Sukha Dukkada. Agamam Painam Nityam Tam Tishishra Bharata. Are Krishna is personality. What is the problem? Krishna is telling, Are sabar karo. Tolerate. Just tolerate. Just accept. I remember, I think 4 years back, I took a problem to my spiritual master. I'll tell you what is interesting. 4 years back, I took a problem. I felt that it is a problem, but it is not a problem. The interesting aspect is he did not speak anything to that. But the next day class, 2 day class is for me only. 2 day class is for that problem only. Then he told a beautiful aspect. He said, he concluded those 2 classes in such a way that you don't have to do anything. You simply become Krishna conscious. The solution is there in that only. You get everything in that. But the problem is the mind intelligence will not stay like that. Because it is an intellectual mind, na? It is intellectual intelligence. Because we are so-called engineer, doctor, this, that, so-called teacher, professor, this, that, so many other things, principal, so many other things, right? We have so many so-called names. When we bring those so-called things into our consciousness, the thing which they told us, he said, what he said, simply become Krishna conscious. What is this simply becoming Krishna conscious? I have so many problems. If I simply become Krishna conscious, everything will be done. He's telling, no, it will be done. You do it. But the mind intelligence will not allow us to do it because your intellect. That is why Puntimarani says, Janma Ishvara Sudashi Eda Mana Malapo. That means so-called intellects of this world, they cannot understand Krishna consciousness. Why? Because we have extra. You see the extra tail, we have that. Intellects. We have the tails. If I tell the same principle, if you discuss same principle with a child, they'll simply ask, oh, I should do Krishna consciousness. Oh, yeah, yeah. They will do like this. Yeah, that is my answer. Yeah. But the intellects, they will not accept this. Now, this is the barricade. My intellects will always think, something kuch to hai, something. That means through my intelligence, I should gain something. That is nothing like that. To become humble, definitely one should require knowledge. With the knowledge only, he'll become humble. But to become really humble, he should have a realized knowledge, not just knowledge. He should get the realized knowledge. Otherwise, why he will become a servant? If he doesn't have realization, he will never become a servant. As he is not a servant, he will use his intellectual brain. Please understand. This is a core problem. That means through intellectual brain, we come out of this realized knowledge. Where the person is always looking for something. That's the problem. See, if you actually see Arjuna's chapter 1 also is intellectual consciousness. So see closely, chapter 1 of Arjuna is very intellectual. It's giving all the reasons, logic, step by step. But if you actually see, even though he has intellectual understanding, he's very honest citizen. Why? Why is he honest citizen? He said, even though I used my intellectual understanding, Shastric understanding, still my consciousness is not satisfied or it is not happy. My heart is not satisfied. I have some problem. No doubt I spoke everything from the scriptures. Actually, he speaks everything. He spoke about Varnashrama Dharma, spoke about Karma, spoke about Dhyana, so many other things. He spoke about Varna Shankara. He spoke about how women will be, women will be put on. He gives all the reasons, but still heart is not satisfied. But what he does is an interesting aspect which every sadhaka should understand. What he does after that is complete submission. That complete submission gave him solution. Just like Parikshit Maharaj, after he had that problem with Shamik Rishi, he was furious. And then he put a dead snake on his neck. No, before that also he interacted multiple times with Shamik Rishi. None of that time his consciousness was that. He knows who that person is also. Please understand. But here in this case, after doing that act, he's continuously thinking about it. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? And through that thought process, he concluded in such a way that, my Lord, you should give me suffering to this. I made a mistake. You should punish me to this. So that through that suffering, I can learn a lesson. Is that not honesty, dear devotees? That means doing a mistake, checking back on that mistake, trying to come out of that mistake by repenting for that mistake, asking forgiveness, and even punishment also. These are all part of relationship only. If a person is not feeling relationship, or he will not even think about it. Who cares? The person, please understand, dear, but you see, everything is connected to relationship. If you have to tolerate something, you should have a relation. You remember we were discussing about this, right? Mother will tolerate, let's say a child is autistic. Don't we see that mother is tolerating that? They tolerate. If they really love the child. If they don't love, that's another thing. They put them in that care, this care, so many other places. I'm not judging anyone. If, for example, if a person is putting a child in an autistic school or putting it someplace, I'm not judging them. But please try to understand, the mother has a lot of patience towards the child. How is that coming? Is that not through relationship? That means, please understand, everything comes through relationship. Arjuna felt the presence of the Lord through relationship only. Arjuna submitted to the Lord because he has a relationship only. Arjuna is sharing his heart because he has a relationship only. If none of these things are there, Arjuna would never have shared any of these things to Krishna. Please understand. Likewise, we will also never share any of our things to our superiors, or spiritual masters. Why? Because we do not feel that relation. But whoever is feeling, they will share and they will get benefited through it. Because, for example, if a person is sharing, then his heart is attached through the sharing. Just like Arjuna's heart was attached. So please understand, this Dadati Pratignati is very important. This comes only through relationship. Now, coming to Prahlad Maharaj, 500 ways, Hiranyakashipu using 500 ways to kill Prahlad Maharaj. And he is not behaving in a different way for every means. Please understand. And we are not putting anyone down here. Please understand. And this anartha will also come when you practice more Krishna consciousness. If it is not practiced in the right way, we feel that we are Prahlad Maharaj. Oh, aayega. If it is not there today, tomorrow it will come. If we tomorrow we will feel that we are Prabhupada, next Prabhupada. For example, person is preaching. If अरे मैं बहुत 1 घंटा बोल रहा हूँ, since 1 hour I'm speaking. अरे Prabhupada only spoke for half an hour, speaking for 1 hour. No doubt, Prabhupada only empowered, but greater than him. So what is this mentality? When we don't accept the Krishna conscious process as is with honesty, just like Arjuna accepted, we have to go through all these problems. But if you accept all of those things, you don't have to go through any of those things. Because you understand everything is given to me, everything is given to me by my spiritual master. Please understand. Everything is given to us. But the problem is, the false ego will not allow us to accept that. That is another problem. See, among all these problems, we are chanting Hare Krishna. Is this not mercy? We are able to finish our rounds. Is it not mercy? We are able to follow regulative principles. Is this not mercy? We are able to eat Krishna Prasad. Today, actually, I was thinking about this. For example, if we don't think or really feel that this is Krishna Prasad, actually, we will not see any difference. If I don't feel that as a Krishna Prasad, I will not see any difference between what I eat at the restaurant and what I eat at the temple. I'm not seeing a difference. They are also the same masala, here are the same masala. That is, what am I doing? I'm going to the gross details, but I'm not coming to the subtle aspect. Because the subtle aspect is removed. When the subtle aspect is removed, what is happening? You don't feel the difference. When we don't feel the difference, we don't have the gratitude. Please understand, gratitude comes through feelings. That feelings are established through Shravana. That means what is happening? One can only cultivate or continue that gratitude when he's continuously in the process of Shravana and Kirtan. I was thinking about this. Yes, even though it is prasad, I cannot feel that as a prasad because I'm not really perceiving that as prasad. It's prasad only. Or Prabhu gave prasad only. But we cannot feel that. We cannot understand. We cannot relish. If I don't relish, today or tomorrow I will stop offering also. See, dear devotees, why am I telling all of these things is, we started Krishna conscious, just like everyone is telling, we started doing it. Not that we really had love and devotions towards Krishna. If you really have love and devotion, you wouldn't have stayed here. You would have went back home, back to Godhead. That Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prem is not yet received. This is the whole point why we try to find so many mistakes in others. I always think why devotees will also find problems, mistakes. What is the reason? This is the reason. Why Krishna Prem is not established. Please understand. And if we understand that, we should be compassionate to that person. We cannot judge that person. If I am judging that person, that is also another problem. That means all of these things do matter. Now, if I really don't feel that as a prasad, I cannot continue staying there or eating that.
Actually, state board.
Initially, we do through karmic reactions. How everyone started eating Krishna Prasad? They said, oh Prabhu, if you don't eat Krishna Prasad, you'll get karmic reactions. Definitely you'll get karmic reactions. That is one level of seeing the things. You should go deeper. If we stay at that state, which is a state of knowledge, if I think that that's okay, if I get karmic reaction, what is the problem? That's okay. If I have that mentality, then I'll stop eating it. Please understand, that means we started with knowledge, we are leaving with knowledge only. Because that bhakti and relationship is not manifested in that. When bhakti and relationship is not manifested in that, we cannot continue. Rather, we go back. That's why to continue more in a deeper level, we should really see the presence of the Lord in that prasad. Now, how do I see the presence of the Lord in that prasad? You should see who cooked it. You should see how much time they have spent it to cook. You should see why they should cook for me. You should see what's so special in me. Why are they giving this prasad to me? You should see how much devotion they have. You should say why they should do all of this to me. When we begin seeing all of these things, then no matter what they give us, we'll be happy. Okay. That means what is happening? The consciousness, we are checking the consciousness again and again. Because if you really feel the presence, what is happening is, you remember the details. That means 3 days back, what prasad you ate, that also you'll remember. Because what are you going? You're going into the detail. This Mataji, how much time it would have taken to cut this vegetable? How many hours she has spent to prepare that? And this is summer, it's not easy to cook. That means what are we trying to do? We are trying to see the presence of that person through that personal relation. So when you begin doing that, what is happening is, this is where you develop gratitude, genuine gratitude. This is where Krishna will actually open up his mercy. Then all of a sudden you'll get a realization. While eating itself, you get a realization. Then you understand, this is amazing. Krishna is present. That is what is happening. You'll actually perceive the presence of the Lord. Perceiving the presence of the personified form, Krishna, is there. It's a very personal. Bhakti is a personal process. It's a personalism. Now, when we have this state, tolerance, you'll tolerate. You will not have any problems. Titiksava Karunika, Suradasa. If you are failing, still you will be happy because you are doing it for his happiness. Please understand it about it. You see, terrorists, they give their life. They give their life. Why? They think that they'll go, that is their highest perfection if they give their life. That's how they are trained. Please understand how much convinced they are to give up their life. It's not easy to give up one's life. Please understand. Is it easy to give up one's life? No. But they did it. Even though it is not authorized, even though it is not shastric, even though it doesn't go through any of those things, still they do it. Should always think, these personalities can do. Ours is a very authorized process, bona fide process. Now, what should I do to really practice my science of Krishna consciousness? How can I be more sincere? What can I do? Krishna, I'm not sincere. Krishna, I'm insecure. Krishna, I have speculative mentality. Still, you are giving me an opportunity to do Shravana and Kirtana. What mercy is this? Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurata Sevana. Namo Mahavadanyaya. Most magnanimous. Lord Chaitanya, our most magnanimous. Magnanimous. Nityananda will tell Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about to devour Jagai and Madhai. Nityananda Prabhu says, this entire world is like that. How many people will kill here? You are Namo Mahavadan. You didn't come here to kill. You came here to give the mercy. MERC by mercy. That mercy is the source of everything. You're just an instrument. With this mood, we should go on. My dear Lord, I don't have any taste also to eat Krishna Prasad. I do not have any taste to chant Hare Krishna. I do not have any taste to hear Shravana. Please, my dear Lord. Among so many disqualifications, still you are allowing me to do, but please give me one chance. Give me some taste so that I can move forward in my science of Krishna consciousness. Everyone is telling this is a bona fide process. I don't realize that. Please help. Help me, my dear. You are my everything. Please. Just we need to. This is a mode of dependence. Prahlad Maharaj didn't opt out 500 varieties of approaching the Lord. Only one approach. Utterly dependent. My dear Lord, if you want to kill me, you can kill. Tatyanukampam susamikshamanam bunjana eva atmakritam vibhagam Oh my dear Lord, you can do whatever you want with me. If you want to throw me from the cliff, you can throw me. You want to protect me, you can protect me. You want to embrace me, you can embrace me. You can do whatever you want with me. But please give me an opportunity to always remember you. This is a move. This is a relation. This comes after surrender. Complete surrender. Because bhakti उधर से प्रारंभ होता है. Bhakti begins from there. Bhakti is very beautiful, dear brothers. Bhakti is very beautiful. None of the problems will affect. These problems do not have to deal anything with bhakti. The problem which we have today, that doesn't have to do anything with bhakti. Bhakti is a separate thing. Whoever understands that, no matter what, he will do bhakti. Because he knows these problems are temporary, it will stay. It will stay for some time, it will go away. Because this body itself is temporary. Let's say the problem is persisting until we leave the body, it will stay until I leave the body. After that, it will not be there. Once this body connection is gone, the relationships, everything is connected, disconnected through that. A lot of people will say, oh, I'm suffering so much in my relationships. Okay, accept it. Has been given to us. Let us be honest. Let us just accept. How do we be honest? Oh my dear Lord, I deserve more than this. You're giving me only fraction. Let me accept it. Let me tolerate it. I deserve it. Nobody should respect me. They should hit me with their slippers. They are very kind. They are just using some words. They should hit with me with their shoes. I deserve that. Because I have that kind of mentality. My dear Lord, I deserve everything. Because I know you're my father. You know what is best to me. I don't know. I know nothing. You know everything. If I have this state, cannot I tolerate? I can't tolerate it. Because what am I doing? The tolerance comes through dependency. Utterly dependent. Please, आप देना ही है. Without that mercy, how can you do this? Let's say if a beggar is begging in the street, the person is going in the car every day, is watching. The beggar is every day is begging like that to that person. Are 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 10 day. After 1 year also he will give something. He might not give today. After 1 year also he might give. His heart might not. He might think, every day this person is asking, let me do it today. A conditioned soul is reciprocating like that. You are asking Supreme Personality of Godhead. Doesn't he give? He is waiting for the right time. Should be tolerant. We should wait for that right time. From our side, what we should do? Thank you, my dear Lord, for giving me this opportunity. Let me continue. And I thank all of you also for sitting patiently. Giving me an opportunity to discuss a few words. I'm grateful to Lord is very merciful, is giving us a chance to connect, to depend, to aspire. You should pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, please remove all the speculations from my heart. I'm already speculative. Please remove all the speculative mentalities from this consciousness. Please correct. Thank you. Anyone else would like to add? We'll stop here.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna, Ma. Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me, Prabhuji? Can you hear me?
Yes, Amma. Please tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, very nicely you explained about this tolerance, Prabhuji. So tolerance, like when you said, like I took some points, tolerance and why we'll tolerate. So when we are completely surrendered to the Guru, to Krishna, that time will not think about much, will not think much, will just tolerate that. And also building relationship to know a person who are why they are doing for us, whatever service they are doing, to know that person and feel the presence of the Lord on them. So it's important. I took those points, Prabhuji. And also, I'd like to share in connection with this tolerance and Srila Prabhupada and Adi Lila, that verse from Shikshashtakam by Mahaprabhu, where he said about Taro Riva Sahishnuna. So, Taro Riva Sahishnuna, Prabhupada used the word forbearance. Forbearance. So, that word Prabhupada used, and Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that when you be a forbearant, that time you can get the love of Godhead, a person who is forbearance. So, Prabhuji, at the same time, the our acharya also showed us how to tolerate, and if you don't tolerate you will be punished. So as you know, the pastime of Srila Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan, when Vallabh Bhatto came and criticized the verses written by Srila Rupa Goswami, and he did not tolerate, Srila Jiva Goswami did not tolerate, so he just defend what Vallabh Bhatto says. And then, but Srila Rupa Goswami was very offended and he told Jiva Goswami, just leave Vrindavan. So, and then he left Vrindavan and stayed outside Vrindavan, and then he did the austerity, whatever the instruction Srila Rupa Goswami gave to him. And then Srila Jiva Goswami did the whatever Srila Rupa Goswami told him to do it, to teach him that compassionate and humility should be present in a Vaishnava. And then Srila Sanatana Goswami bring him back to Vrindavan, seeing his austerity. So Prabhuji, those are all learnings like from acharyas, how to tolerate and why to tolerate. So just like to get here. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Amma. Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Okay, thank you all very much. Karina, you can begin reciting the prayers. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then Pranam Uncle Sister Prabhupada. Thank you for giving wonderful lecture, Prabhuji. Thank you for leading the call today on the Sister Brahmavani. Hare Krishna. Jam Mishramata Paramahamsa